this tutorial you're going to need a red yarn, a green yarn and a black yarn. I shall leave a link in the description box below as to which colours I used, because I used a different one for this larger one compared to this smaller one. You are going to need your selected size crochet hook. For this smaller one I used a 3.5mm, and for this larger one I used a 4mm, so the choice is yours. You also want a pair of scissors and a darning needle to sew your work together. To start this tutorial you want to begin by making a slip knot, and you can do this whichever way you prefer. Insert your hook and we're going to begin by chaining 4. So yarn over, pull through for 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you're going to take your hook and pop it into the first loop and yarn over and pull through both of those loops to create your circle. So we're going to work into this very center circle now, and we're going to begin by chaining 1, and we are going to do 10 double crochets in this very center circle. So this is double crochet in the UK. In the US this is single crochet. So insert, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook, that's 1, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, that's 2, and 10. You're then going to insert your hook into the top of that first stitch that you've just done, and you're going to grab the yarn and pull it through both the loops to connect. So you should end up with a circle just like this. We're then going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to be working into the tops of the stitches. So first of all you're going to do a treble crochet. This is double crochet in the US. So yarn over, insert your hook into the top of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, you'll have 3 loops on your hook, and yarn over, pull through 2, you'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 and you'll have 1 loop left on your hook. And we're going to do another treble crochet in that very same space. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 and yarn over, pull through 2. We'll then do another 2 trebles in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. We're going to do 3 double trebles in the next stitch. So this would be classed as a triple stitch in the US. We're going to yarn over twice, insert the hook, yarn over and pull through. You'll have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So it's a much larger stitch than the others. We'll then do another one in that same space, and then 1 more in that same space. We're then going to do 2 trebles into the next space. So that's 1 and 2. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then slip stitch into the next space. So just insert the hook, grab the yarn and pull it all the way through to make a slip stitch. We're then going to chain 2 again, 1, 2, and into the next space we shall do 3 treble crochets. So that's double crochet in the US. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 and yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1, 2 and 3. We'll do 2 trebles into the next space. That's 1 and 2. We'll do 3 double trebles into the next space, so that's when it's yarn over twice, and you're pulling through 2 loops at a time. So that's 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do 3 trebles into the next space, so it's just yarn over once, insert into the next space, and do your trebles. So that's 1, oops, 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to finish off by chaining 2 and then inserting your hook into the next space and just slip stitch to bring that together. Now all you need to do is chain 1 in order to make a knot, and you're going to grab your scissors and you're just going to snip off and then pull that yarn through to pull nice and tight. So we can just leave this thread here at the moment and we'll weave it in a little bit later. We're now going to make the centre of the poppy, so you just want to grab your black yarn. In order to make the centre of your poppy, you're going to need to start by doing a magic circle. Now I actually have a different tutorial of this magic circle, of a slower version of how to actually do this, so I shall leave a link in the description box below if you are unsure of how to make a magic circle, and I shall talk you through step by step of how to do that. So you can go ahead and make your magic circle. And what we are going to do is do 10 double crochets into this circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. You want to hold on to your work and pull the loose thread nice and tight, and you are simply going to insert your hook into the first stitch just to connect. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through again, and snip off your yarn. Pull that piece nice and tight, and then also pull your centre circle nice and tight, and this makes sure that you haven't got a gap that's too big in the very centre circle. So you can thread in your pieces of yarn. I would thread in this one where we've just made the knot, and then I'm going to leave this one on so that I can sew it onto the poppy. And you can just do that with a darning needle. So if you want to go ahead and pause the video, sew those in, and I shall meet you back to make your leaf. In order to make your leaf, you want to make your slip knot, and this is actually going to be the same as the last tutorial that I did, which was the leaf tutorial, but we're just not going to put a stem on there. So you want to chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to work a little bit faster on this tutorial just because it is the same as my last one, so I'll leave a link in the description box below if you want to watch it in a little bit slower pace. But we're going to do 3 trebles into the third chain from the bottom. Remember, this is UK. In the US this would be a double, so that's 1, 2 and 3. We're then going to do 1 treble into the next 3 spaces, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do a half treble into the next 2 spaces, so yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all 3, so that's 1, and repeat the same again for 2. We're going to do a double treble into the next space, so insert the hook straight in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. We're then going to do a slip stitch, which should be in your last stitch of the chain, and just going to yarn over and pull through all the way through. We're going to chain 2. This is going to make the peak of the leaf, and then insert our hook into that very last stitch that we just worked in for a slip stitch again, and we're simply going to work back down the other side doing exactly the same as what we did before but in reverse. So double crochet, 2 half trebles, 1, 2, 3 trebles, 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 treble crochets into this very last space. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to take our hook and insert it into the top of that very first treble and yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through. You want to leave a fairly long thread on this one so that we can sew this onto our work. So pull that out, and then you're going to use this thread to sew it on to the poppy.